G'day, ZiggyD here. Now that Delve is effectively a core feature of the game through its new master implementation, I've recently been testing how you can engage with it and just how profitable it is. So to do this, I've just kept things fairly simple. I didn't even bother with any spreadsheets or anything. I've just been dumping everything I've gotten from a delving session into a quad tab and using Excellence, a pretty cool application here, to track how much it's all worth. This doesn't track anything worth less than a chaos, and it also doesn't track things like rares. Then all I do is I just subtract the cost of the Scarab investments and we get our total profits. In its new implementation, Delve effectively has an investment cost. You can't really just jump on and farm Sulphite like you could for free in the Delve League. You can get your free Nico Atlas missions for a bit of Sulphite each day, but if you really want to delve into Delve, then you need to be using the powerful new Sulphite Scarabs. So this is the way Delve currently operates. There are two approaches. The first is to just do an occasional delve when you randomly get some Sulphite from maps or Nico Atlas missions, and that is honestly pretty profitable. Doesn't cost you anything, obviously. You'll be doing pretty low level delves, maybe just exploring around depth 100 with the exclusive goal of checking the dark side areas for free currency and fossils that you can basically just scoop off the ground. Some of the fossils, like dense fossils for example, are worth like 6 to 7 chaos apiece, so it can be pretty good money. This is honestly good money with zero investment, and it can be done on an absolute trash tier character with no problems as well. Just invest in some darkness resistance and flares, which takes a little bit of time to build up, but it's not too bad by this point in the league if you've been doing some delving, and you can just scoop up free, easy, decent currency. The second and more involved approach, which I wanted to test, is to purchase Sulphite Scarabs and use them on high tier maps to delve down to endgame depths and farm not only the dark side areas, but also profitable nodes like cities, delve bosses, and fossil nodes. The deeper you go, the more frequently you'll run into these profitable nodes as well, so you'll be constantly heading downwards as far as your character can handle. I'm currently getting close to depth 300, and my recent session was mostly testing the mid 200s. So obviously you actually need a decent character for this second approach. You need to both be able to do at least tier 15 and 16 red maps, and the delves themselves can get a little bit sketchy, and if you're dying too often in delves, then you're going to be wasting Sulphite and things will get a lot less profitable for you. So you do need a decent character. So firstly, let's talk about the Sulphite investment side of things. Gilded Sulphite Scarabs, as of the time of making this video, cost approximately 35 chaos in Betrayal League, and they net you on average 10,000 Sulphite when used in a high quantity tier 15 or 16 map. This is both confirmed by my own personal testing and a nice Reddit post by user Sectoid Fodder who tracked 50 Gilded Scarabs in tier 16 maps. Map tier and quantity both have a big impact on Sulphite amounts, so you want to be doing this on tier 15 or 16 at least, and rolling for roughly 130 quantity. To do this, chisel your map, Alk and Chaos it to get close to 80 quantity and hopefully a runnable set of mods, and then Varl it. Sometimes you'll get extra mods, which adds extra quantity, and sometimes it'll go unidentified, which also adds extra quantity. Then use Zana's bonus quantity option, which costs nothing, and then add in 2 sacrifice fragments. This will pretty typically get you at least 130-ish quantity. An alternative approach I tested is Scarab Rotations. You get 6 people together and each person brings their own Gilded Scarab and a rolled map. You then run each person's map and Scarab as a party. Sulphite is shared, but the Scarab bonus for each map is given to the creator of the map, so make sure that each person uses their own map device for their own map and Scarab. Now this achieves 2 things. It better insulates you from bad RNG, where you might use a Scarab and get only 1 Sulphite pile, and on average you also get more Sulphite per single Scarab purchased than you would running it solo. The downside to this method is of course that it takes longer to do, as you're essentially running 6 maps instead of 1. Either approach is fine. You're essentially trading time for better returns per Scarab invested when you do rotas. So how much money were we making? I did about 6 casual hours on stream while goofing off, and I alternated between using Sulphite Scarabs to get the Sulphite I needed and delving around the mid 200s, pushing downwards and exploring any cities I found. I had 1 lucky all encounter around depth 260, a few smaller cities, and 1 really big city with about 11 nodes in it. I didn't get anything else major in this session like fossil nodes or anything like that, though I've certainly got them in other delving sessions. Overall, my gross income was just under 1,000 chaos worth of stuff, not including any rares which I haven't ID'd and don't get priced in Excellence, and my all helmet drop which I didn't include in this, since that was kind of lucky and a little bit unusual. The all helmet was 100 chaos, and I also got at least 150 chaos elder ring as well, which is not included in this total. As you can see here through this handy breakdown, the bulk of that money is from raw currency drops, which came mainly from currency chests, fossils, and high tier maps, which you get a ton of in the city nodes. Other notable drops were things like prime resonators, I got 2 in this session, and sometimes you'll get chests that drop prophecies, and things like divination cards as well. I got an Unbreathing Queen 5, which is worth over 25 chaos, for example. The true bulk of the money is really from high tier maps though. Even with map prices being like the lowest they've ever been in Path of Exile, you're still making a lot from all the tier 14s, 15s, and 16s you're able to get from the cities. Often I was doing a single city and getting like 4 or 5 sometimes. I purchased approximately 10 Scarabs, most of them were gilded and some of them were polished. If we pretend that they're all gilded, that's around 350 chaos of investment. Now that seems like a lot, but you can essentially pay that as you go from your delving profits. So just buy one, do some delving, and then use the currency to buy another one. And if we math that out, that leaves us with over 650 chaos in profits, not including the all helmet and the other bits and pieces like rares and stuff. Not too bad at all. Obviously there's always RNG involved in Path of Exile, but overall, apart from encountering also early, which I didn't even include in the total, I didn't consider this to be anything unusual. It was a pretty average session of delving, I think. Delve has always been really profitable, and the changes ZiggyD seems to have made to fossil spawns being better behind breakable walls and making delving deeper even more juicy in encounters, it's seeming really worth getting into. Even if Sulphite Scarabs were to double in price somehow, it won't be too hard to turn a profit, especially if you're delving past depth 300. Another important thing to note is that during this testing, I was also tracking my profit versus expenses as I went. This allowed me to kind of see when I was having a bad streak of delves versus a good streak of delves and just how profitable those things were against each other. The first half of my delving session, for example, I had no cities and no good nodes, just general point A to B, crappy weapon and armor and strongbox delves with nothing special at all. Even during these stretches, I was making a profit on each Scarab's worth of Sulphite from the currency and fossil drops in the side areas. It wasn't too hard to make back my 35C and then some. Make sure you're using those flares and exploring those side areas as you delve, and you'll more than cover your costs until you get to those motherlode cities and high-end nodes later on. It definitely doesn't feel like a pure gamble. But let me know your experiences in the comments below. Have you been seriously hitting the delves, and how have you found it overall? Personally, it's fast becoming one of my favorite things in the game. Delves are pretty fun to run, and it's got pretty good dopamine hits, which, as an action RPG player, is definitely my jam. Anyways, I'm traveling for the next week, so I won't be streaming at all, but if you watch only here on YouTube, then you might not even notice I'm gone, because I do have some content lined up for the time while I'm gone. Either way, I'll see you when I return. That's it for now, I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching. Ding! Oh my god, that enlightened, pinged right at the exact moment in the music.
Few times I've been run that track and it's not gonna happen like that, cause I ain't no callback girl. Ain't no callback girl.
Thanks, I hate it. I love that meme. Yes, more of them, there's so many. There's so many, it just keeps going, look at it, it's an infinite city. We actually did find a Megapolis. Look at this freaking Megapolis. It just keeps going, it just goes. It's gonna go the whole way. Eldritch Jewelry. Oh, Elder 2-Stone Ring, 83. Yeah, that's actually worth something. I can craft that into a Warlord's Mark Ring. Maybe it already is a Warlord's Mark Ring. Nice Elder Ring drop. Yo, it's already a Warlord's Mark Ring. I called it. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's terrible though. It's so bad, look at it. Look at that thing. Oh, still though, just straight up Warlord's Mark on a ring is money. Doesn't even matter what the rest of the mods are. Oh! Certainly not gonna build on that. Oh! Fuck, and the 40 wed? Oh shit! Damn, that was like 150 alts too? Oh my god. Oh, yes, yes. Oh my god, that health ball. Slayer Leech, thank you. So good. Oh my god, the stuns though.